Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Verene, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Ink Thoughts podcast. And how's your week, Verene?
Hi, my week has been quite stressful because I've just completed 2 of my exams over the past few days, and yeah, because it's an online exam, so it takes quite some time, and you will be stressing throughout that whole time. Yeah.
Okay, understand, totally understand. And yeah, I believe you'll be stressed, and for another 2 weeks, right? Because yeah, you're still gonna have your exams for the next 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Ah, all right, okay. But yes, I feel very motivated compared to last week. I'm talking about today, like today compared to last week, because yes, I did everything. I did everything that I actually wanted. I woke up and work out and done all my morning routine, all that. And there's one particular thing yesterday night that actually kept me up. Not kept me up actually. It made me so excited for today because I was searching for luggage bag. It's a very weird topic. I was searching for luggage bag yesterday night, and then because I'm going to UK end of this year for studying, and then I'm looking for luggage, and I found a very nice aluminium luggage bag, and then it's not using all those zips and stuff because I try to find something that's new. So because using zips on luggage is actually quite dangerous because people can just like poke through that. There's an experiment done. People can poke through it and then they can literally open the bag and then take the stuff from it. So I'm trying to find those that are directly clip on. So you just use a lock which like clips on. I don't know how to exactly describe how it works, but then yeah, that's how it works. And yes, so it originally, it's actually on a discount already, but then it's like sold out quite a few places, and then I found one place which it's 400 ringgit. It's in stock, which is considered cheap for a aluminium large suitcase with clip on. And then I found discount code for it, so I ended up like saving 30% from it. So I was like so excited all the way until today, but it's actually quite funny. I was intending to buy 2, but then ended up, yeah, those online shop is smarter than me, so they kind of limit the purchasing. So I just bought one this morning. And yes, so yeah, it's actually a very minor thing, but then I'm just so excited all the way until today and so energized, and yeah.
Your luggage bag sounds very interesting.
Yes, actually, it's actually a very small thing. I think it's just a thing where like you're buying new things, like because this not just a new luggage bag for me, it's a new kind of luggage bag for me where like I'm experiencing all this hard casing luggage bag with a clip-on thingy. I'm not sure what they call that. So it's a brand new experience for me, and then I get a very good deal out of it. So yes, of course. Why why am I not happy about it? Okay, so yes, this week's topic is actually more of it's actually inspired by you, because when we started out this podcast, we have this Notion board thing where we throw our ideas there, and then I've been throwing a lot. Like I just tell you that, yeah, I have all this idea in my mind for so long, ever since we talked about starting this podcast. So I just, when we have that board, I just threw everything up there, and then you only had like 1 or 2 idea back then. So you are you're worried because you feel stressed, like,
Yes,
look at me having
exactly.
all these ideas, and then and so yeah, that's why it sparked this topic sparked in my mind. How do we actually get ideas? So it's like partially inspired by you, but I think this episode, it'll be more like a questioning format, right? Like you questioning, like asking me questions on how to do idea. But I think you did some research as well. So
Yes, I did some research.
but maybe it's more like you ask me, is it? Because you want to
Yeah.
understand how to get ideas. Okay, so
I think I'm not like
Let me start from you. Let's start this episode with you, because like, you are the one that's looking for idea. I would say that I don't have a problem looking for ideas, but unless you want to say like genuine novel ideas, then definitely everyone have a hard time coming up with that. But let's start with you.
okay. Okay. Like you said, during time preparing for this podcast, then I really face the problem of finding or thinking about new ideas. I don't know. It just seems quite hard to me that I can't like randomly thought of something like you, which is but one thing is that
Later I'm gonna further explain it. It's not randomly thinking about this, but yeah, go on.
but one thing is that your idea are quite creative and interesting compared to mine. I think my one is just like very boring, and yeah, that's that. I think that's one.
Well, the new one that you come up is actually quite okay lah. It's not that bad. It's like, yeah, it's not that bad. But yeah, I'm trying to like justify that. Not just no, not justify, but say, like, trying to prove that no, whatever you're thinking is actually wrong. But if I say that, like, then I'm like saying out the answer directly. So like I'll just like wait for you to finish this whole thing first, then I'll answer that. And maybe if you, yeah, add on all this on later on. But yeah, continue.
Okay, but when I was preparing for this episode, I did some research and I realized that oh, actually I can change that through many ways, but I'm not sure if that's going to work
Exactly.
very well on me, but it's worth a try. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And so now for you okay for you to just not just explain what explain what I've been telling just now.
Okay. I'm not gonna explain straight into that, but because this week I was watching a Bloomberg YouTube video about, they're talking about like I think it's a series and stuff on YouTube, and they're talking about entering space. So entering the space industry in general. So like space mining, space like space tourism, all this stuff, like generally about space. And then there's this video which is very interesting. There's okay, I felt so bad forgetting about this the name of this guy. Okay, give me a second. I'll just go in and check
Okay.
this guy's name. This guy. Wait, let me see. Attempted. Okay. I don't have his full name yet. God damn it. Yes, this guy, John Vellinger. Guy, John Vellinger, who is actually currently a CEO of a company called, founder and CEO of a company called TechShot, which what they do is they literally try to bring new things. They try to just experiment in space and then try to bring those technology onto Earth to like sell those technology. But when he was very young, so there's this competition in USA by the NASA, because that period of time it was the space race. So US and Russia is trying to fight to be to do any kind of thing, to be the first to do any kind of thing on in space actually. So the NASA created this challenge for anyone in the public to think of experiments to be done in space. And then John, okay, so yeah. Now the question comes: if I were to ask you, let's say, what experiment would you like to do in space? What would be the experiment that you do?
Wow. Okay, sounds very interesting. Okay. What experiment would I want to do?
It's okay if you don't have any idea. Okay, let me just tell you what. Do you actually know or why what they are actually trying? Why are people doing experiment in space for? Do you know why do they do that?
Is it because they want to experiment if we can stay over there?
No, not that. Cause like they literally do all kinds of experiments. They grow plants, they grow animals there. They leave animals there for them to live or something like that. But the thing that they are trying to find out is whether microgravity affects all this normal things that we consider normal on Earth.
Okay.
Okay. So with this in mind, what experiment would you be bringing to space, or if you can't think of any, it's fine as well.
Um, to be honest, I don't have any like very cool thing to that I want that I think is yeah, but maybe something about water, like if if let's say I pour a glass of water, will it how to say drop okay drop down like how you
Okay.
usually does it in Malay no in India.
Okay. I understand now, because that's like something that we never experienced. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
the experiment is of course like at a whole new level where they can actually do research and all this stuff. So,
Mm.
of course. But I noticed that you said one thing. You said about you can't think of something that's cool to do it there.
Mm.
And actually, if you really throw this question to me and you give me 5 minutes to think about it, I probably can't as well. Until I actually watched this video, and then I found that wow, John Vallinger is the winner of this competition, and the experiment that he brought up to he didn't personally bring it out to space. He gave the idea, so he's the winner. But then he I don't think until today I don't think he's been to space even until today. So yeah, the idea was actually just hatching chicklings in space.
Oh.
Because yeah, it's just this simple. It's not as cool as we think. But of course, this just trying to prove a point that ideas doesn't have to be cool. It can be very general stuff. But of course, thinking about then I went into further research, which I will link an article in a blog post, in the show notes or blog post, whatever, so you guys can check it out. So the reason he actually chose this experiment is because he went to a chicken farm before, and then he learned that you need to constantly roll to not really flip, like I think roll the egg like to different positions, because of gravity, the embryo will tend to get to the bottom of the egg. Yeah, that's why you need to keep rolling the egg to make sure that each part of it is equally warm. Yes, that's why that's the only way to hatch a chickling. So, and yeah, that's what that sparked him to actually do this experiment, because in space we don't we have microgravity, very minor gravity, so definitely it will be affected lah. But the results is actually quite they still can't there's some chickling that is hatched, some are not. So, and then they didn't do any further experiments on this topic anymore, because there's actually space law now. I don't think you can bring animals into space without certification and all that. So it made it quite complicated. So they actually didn't get any answer from this experiment. But yeah. So it's actually quite interesting. So yeah, the point that I'm trying to say here is that the idea doesn't have to be cool. Sometimes we kind of just limit ourselves, thinking that
Yes.
yeah, we need to have a cool idea. But the cool, this word cool is actually quite relative. It depends on people. Like something that is cool for you might not be cool for me, and then something that I think is like so normal, I see it every single day. Like I believe something you can imagine is that like people living in the woods, maybe they encounter tigers every day, and then they like normal with it, and then they already know ways of, and they already find out ways to how to chase them away. And then for us city dwellers, and then we just go to their house one day in the morning, we see that like, wow, damn, you have a tiger in front of your house every single day, that's so cool, man. Or actually scared lah, I guess more of the scared part lah, of course. but yeah, like, so the cool, basically trying to say that the cool factor depends on everyone. And before I go into another article, I will talk about the few things that that generates my ideas lah. Generates my ideas. One single thing is very easy. Literally. ask questions about anything. I believe you have questions, right?
Yeah.
You have. I mean like you have problems in life and all that.
Yes, yes.
Problems in life. Then like those problems basically become questions. Like example, I will read out a few of our ideas. Um, one that I find very interesting and very simple is actually how to make lunch decision efficiently, because that is literally a problem that
Yes, yes.
most Malaysian face, and maybe other countries also. But yeah, I'll just generally talk about Malaysians. Like we face this, it's a problem. So, it's not really an idea per se for. Idea. This thing depends as well, because for our podcast, this is an idea because it's something we can talk about.
Yes.
But for other things, the idea might be the solution. Yeah, that's where you need to actively solve it, something like that. So, like, as for podcasts, we literally can just think of questions that we have, questions that are yet to be answered, and then we can just throw it here, or think about personal problems that we have, like how to how to make lunch decision efficiently, or like I have this question where like it's good to be transparent. I found that it's actually very good to be transparent, but what is the extent? I believe there's still an extent, right? So yeah, like this is something I question, then it just becomes an idea. Yeah. But other than this too, there is this one thing which I got from another podcast, from the Not Overthinking podcast by Ali and Taimo Abdal. So they in one of their episodes they talk about one of their friend, which is like kind of I forgot what's the word they used to describe that friend. It is a very cool word, but yeah, I can't. I actually forgot that word. So they're talking about that friend is. You can say that whatever that friend do, anything that the friend does is so novel that they think like, wow, you are so different, you're so out of the box. But it's not different in a bad way. It's just like you do things that are so special in a way that we never thought of it, and then it's actually something that we can do. Yeah, just that we never thought of it. But then to that friend of theirs, he just think that no, it's actually not that special. I do it every day. My parents do it, my relative do it. Like it's a very normal thing to me. Like nothing special at all. So from this, they actually found out that this people think that guy is actually thinking out of the box most of the time when he do all this stuff. But in fact, he is for him he's actually thinking in the box. It's nowhere near out of the box, because his family and relative, all that, they are into exploring stuff, into doing different kind of things. So it's very normal for them to do all kinds of stuff like that. So they ended up with a conclusion where sometimes it's not about thinking out of the box. Thinking out of the box is possible, but it's very hard because it's literally something that, like, it's literally a spark from nowhere, which is almost impossible, but it happens. But the way to generate more ideas is actually by widening your box, so that you're inside your box, you have a lot of things. You don't have to think out of the box. You can just think in the box, and then things are special enough for other people already. Because your box is so big compared to others. Understand? You get it?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Because just now I think there's a lag.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, no problem. Yeah. So, I was just talking about we just need to widen our own box, basically increasing our knowledge, increasing our experience, all this. And then we just need to think in the box. And then all these thoughts will be so unique to other people's, or when other people see it already. Yeah, because like our box is so bigger than theirs. So it's not always about thinking out of the box, but when we widen our box, our thoughts will become unique, become novel. Yeah. People will just think that we are special.
When I was preparing for this episode, I say I did some research, right? So I came across this article that say about generating ideas basically is related to what you consume. and the stuff that
Oh,
you consume should be good in quality. I mean quality stuff, and then and one thing is that you have to constantly do so that you have the quantity as well. So when you have
okay, okay.
all these kind of stuff in your mind, then it helps you to generate ideas, which I think is quite
So
relevant
so
to what you have been saying.
so yeah, basically we can say that ideas doesn't come out of thin air. It just come out of what we expose, what we are exposed to, but just depends on how much exposure you have. So
Yeah.
when you expose to more stuff, especially stuff that general people don't get to expose to, you have you get all these ideas which people tend to think which are special. Do you agree with me?
Yes, yes. So I think maybe I have to consume more quality stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But like all this, I talked about three just now. So think about personal problems. Constantly ask questions about anything around you, and then widening your box. So these are three things that is kind of key to what I've been, what I stick to generate more ideas ish. But then I was searching online as well for some interesting articles, and I come across this article from Mind Tools. So this is actually the best article I've came across. I read a few, and then this is like the others. I think that they are too general, and then like
Mm-mm.
not thoughtful enough.
Okay.
They are not thoughtful enough. Like when you read it, it's like yeah, I guess even if I apply this, I wouldn't really get any ideas. But this one is because I think they are probably okay. They are essential skills for an excellent career website. Okay, I guess skills website, something like that. But theirs is quite in depth, so I like theirs more. And then some of their points might actually conflict. Not really conflict. It might be the same as what I've said, but they talk about it more detail. Yeah, they talk
Mm-hmm.
about it more detail. So, okay, I'll get into them. So the f- the first one they talk about is breaking old thinking patterns. So I believe, especially us as Asian, we are not encouraged to explore. We are not encouraged to explore.
True.
We are encouraged more to
Yes.
follow rules, right? Is it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, like since we are young, we've limited ourselves to
Yes.
following what our parents do, what our grandparents do, all that. So I think this can relate to us very well. If we keep thinking like, especially even in exams, our questions are formulated so well that there is one exact answer.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
yes.
really you can't, like most of our question, you can't really explore different right answers. There is only one answer. So we tend to think that, oh, okay, for everything there is a one way to find it, and then we just have to find it. We don't have to explore. Yeah.
Yes.
There is one
I
thing that
think
we need to get that single thing, but not try to search everywhere, like does this work, and that we just like need to find that thing. That
yes,
is
I think
that
even
only thing.
for those so-called high order thinking skills questions that encourage
Hmm.
us to think, that's I think that's actually a so-called right answer prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing about our education system. I believe that
Yes.
because, well, it's hard for teacher to genuinely think like what is this correct or not if they don't have a guide. So
Yeah.
that is supposed to be a guide, but then they just use that as an
Yes,
answer. So
yes.
then they don't discuss and all this. It's well, the thing is they are they grew up the way we did, basically.
Mm-mm.
So we can't really blame them because
Yeah.
they have been growing up all this while without exploring and all this, so they are not used to that kind of thinking. So the first thing is breaking old thinking patterns. And
Mm.
yes, then the first sub point they talk about is actually very interesting. Challenge your assumption. Yeah.
Mm.
Usually we this is a bit hard because we know that we are not supposed to do this thing ish like that. One example he gives is that uh extending your home office. And then most people when they do that, they think about let's not do that because it spends a lot of money.
Mm.
But we basically get limited by the money factor, but we never try. We never think about the different outcomes that might come up if we actually spend that money. So this is as simple as that. We don't limit we don't limit ourselves within that assumption where like we can't do it, we can't do it, we can't do it because of this, we can't do it because of that. Because sometimes it's actually not we can't do it. It's that we choose not to do it for some reasons.
Okay.
But it's still within our means to do it. It's still within our means. What we can afford to extend, just that we choose not to because we have other priorities.
Okay.
But like when we do all this, we might get different things. So like example here you talk about it's a extending the home office is a good investment, but many people think that they don't have money and all that. But maybe when you actually do this, extend your office, and then when you need to start paying all the bills and stuff, you'll actually find other ways to pay all those bills, because maybe the extension of your home office brings you a better work environment, allow you to work more productively, all that. So you have different ways to actually do things.
Okay.
But of course, I'll say that this kind of limits to this has to have a limit. You can't constantly use this as a reason for you to buy all kinds of stuff, or like do all kinds of irrational decisions. You have to make sure that it's within your means, and then there is a certain within a certain risk bracket. It's not like too much risk that you can't handle.
Yeah, this is very yes, I think this is very challenging. Like you have to ensure you're not overly do something.
Yeah. So but this comes down to another thing though. As long as you are responsible enough, like we train to be, we have more self-control, we have more discipline, and you're responsible enough, usually whatever outcomes that it turn out, even for the worst, it turns out to be it turns out the bad way. You really don't have money to pay off your loan and payment and all this, you will still find a way. Because you have the responsibility by heart. Yeah, but of course it's just and sometimes we actually don't do all this stuff because of that thing. We always think about the worst case scenario. It's the worst case scenario that pushes us away from all this.
Yeah,
right. So of course there's things to be leveraged on. We need to think about like we still need to think about the risk part, but I think for people who are responsible enough, disciplined enough, with enough self-control, it's definitely worth challenging this assumption and then try to be better.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The second thing, rephrase the problem. Okay. Rephrase the problem. Okay. Rephrase the problem. Well, this is generating idea. Rephrase the problem. So, I can't. I don't like the example, and I'm not sure if my example is really rephrasing the problem. But yeah, never mind. I think I'll just use that idea because it's easier that way. So, they're talking about the Uber's founder, Garrett Camp. Actually, I didn't know him. I only know Travis Kalanick or something. I forgot. So, yeah. But yeah, okay. Apparently, he's one of the founder of Uber, and then so he wanted to start a transport service, and then he wanted to simply buy and manage cars to like just earn money. So basically, like a taxi company, probably like we just rent out taxis to people drive it every single day. So they get all the money, but then they still have to pay you the rental for the taxi lah. Yeah. But then he actually reframed the problem. So now he thinks about how can he best address passengers' need for when they are taking all these rides. That's where they came out with the Uber thing. Yeah, because Uber is like literally anytime, anywhere from your phone. That I believe that's like the biggest problem. And then it became even better where you can ensure that the quality is good because there's rating and all this stuff. There's emergency call through the app, all this. So instead of being just a taxi money where I just try to earn money, he thought about, so passenger actually cares about other stuff. Eventually, how business idea comes. What is the pain point for customers, and then yeah. So like sometimes reframing the questions works as well. Like it gives you a different perspective onto a same thing. We just need to find ways to reframe the question. Not easy, I understand.
Yes.
But it worked for me some time lah. Like, but the thing is how to reframe the question. That's a tough part.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, there's another one. So this is the third one, the third sub point, and then think and reverse. Okay, think and reverse. So I'll use my example on this. So I believe, do you remember all the mental exercises that we did?
Yes.
Actually, I let you to do it. So
Yes, I
let you do
remember
it.
that.
So an example. So okay, I'll ask you, what's the one thing that you wanna achieve in a year?
In a year,
Yeah, just any single thing.
I want to have a decent job.
You want to have a decent job. Okay, you want to have a decent job within one single year, and then you kind of think that you think that you think that you need one single year. So what would you do if you decide that one? No, I'm not asking you that. I'm asking
okay.
another question. So what would you do if you actually actively choose to not have a job in a year time? So now you think about, in 1 year time, I still don't want to have a job. What are you gonna do? Basically, I believe you want to have a job is very simple reason, because you're out of uni, you get a job, get money, and all this. Start living the actual career life lah. So, okay, now if you actively think about you're not gonna get a job. I don't want to get a job. What are you gonna do?
I think I might want to start a business.
Oh, okay. And then how would be your approach to do that? What would be your approach to start a business?
What do you mean by approach?
Like yeah, how would you start the business? What's your approach?
Okay. I think I wanted to do something like more of an online stuff.
Online stuff. Like I mean, I don't mean like what you want to do. Like how would you do it? Your approach. Because like obviously in I believe if you think about wanting to get a job within a year, you think about the usual process, how to apply job, all this, like get more exposure, go to career fair, all this. But yes, if you think in reverse another way, now how would you start the business? How would you do all this stuff?
Okay, this is quite challenging. Okay.
Yeah.
What would I do? I think I might find a field or area that I'm interested. Then I go and do some research. Wait, I think this is still a very usual way.
Well, it may be a usual way, but then the thing is, of course, it's pushing you to think of new ideas. So in 1 year time, because like it's the exact opposite, it's basically letting you think of other choices where you can it works out for you as well. Of course, we don't have enough time to actually end up with the idea on how you actually can start a business. But it's fine. Maybe it's something that you can think about further on. Yeah, so this is actually one of the mental exercise. It's not exactly the same as what I asked you to do last time. So this is actually one of them. Think exact opposite. It may spark you different, because ultimately it's the same goal. It's 1 year, and then you want to earn money, all this, because like money is the main motivation you want to do that. So yeah. Basically like even you can think about, maybe for some people they think about, in 1 year time I want to earn this much of money, because earn this much of money to survive, right? Now you think of it the opposite way. You want to lose this much of money while surviving. It
Oh.
doesn't make sense, but in what cases would you do that? How to lose all this money while surviving? One way I would be thinking of, well, I wouldn't say that it's exactly losing all this money, but I let me just say that it's spending all this money. So I will change the other idea where, like, I won't have all this idea. I'm still surviving, but I'm spending all this money because I'm starting a charity fund or something. I'm starting a non-profit organization. All this, isn't it? It's like kind of the same thing. You're still surviving, and then you're actually doing something.
Yes, yes.
But now you're actually spending all this money, not necessarily yours. Maybe you got it through donation and all this to all the uh let's say you started a animal NGO and stuff, to help out all the animals, protect all the animals, all this. So I believe this mental exercise actually works.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like mental exercises is actually one thing. Not just thinking in reverse, like those that we did. Thinking about doing this in a shorter time frame, it sparks you new idea. Like I talk about how if I want to get into studying philosophy. I mean, let's just say that I want to get a philosophy master. I think it's possible right after my degree, but
Yes.
it will take 1 year time.
Yeah.
But if I want to do it in 1 month, which for 99% of the people, it will be practically impossible.
Yes.
But well, I give me this. Let's say if I'm really stuck in this stuck this way, and then worst case scenario, if I don't get the masters within 1 month, and then I die or something like that, what can I do? I still have to think of ideas, right? Either you
Yeah.
die or you think of ideas. So let's think of ideas. So one way is literally to maybe just search all these on university or places that actually offer masters and all this. You might end up finding one that is, or even a few that actually offers a philosophy degree within a month, but then it might not be that reliable.
Yeah.
And then through that, you actually can find the best, but it's still a philosophy degree master. Or what you can even do is you can go to those universities that you actually like. You go and find a particular course convener, all this stuff, talk to them, understand, or even beg them, all this. Like, of course, it's not that such of a special idea, but it is an idea. Would you agree on that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I would say that all this mental exercise, thinking of from a different perspective is what that helps. Okay. So then now we are on to the second point, where the article talks about making new connections. Making new connection, I think it's kind of related to what we talked about just now. So expanding your horizon, knowing more stuff. Would you agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah. So like when you know more friends, when you read more books and stuff, so you actually get to know more stuff, which will generate more ideas. Over here, he has why did I refer this article to he? But yeah, this article's provided three points, which is slightly different. These are more like actually exercise that you can do. So the first one is actually random words. Literally, probably you just go to Google. Google homepage, and then there's actually there's a button called "I'm feeling lucky," right? I'm not sure if you know about that.
Let me see. I'm feeling lucky.
Yeah, I believe people actually don't know that.
I don't know.
People actually, yeah. Oh, actually, well, okay, it's not as fun as last time anymore. Last time it's better. I remember last time being, because now when I click that, it's actually just show the closest, what's happening, what's happening around the world, like the closest Google Doodle, all that. Last time I think it randomly chooses a word, something like that. So from like, yeah, you can find some random word generator or that. You should just create a word, and then from that word try to relate how you can like solve this problem with this single word. Okay, so I'm not trying. I won't let me think of a let me try this out now. Let me think of a
Okay.
problem, and then I'll ask you for a word. I'm not gonna tell you the problem, because if I tell you a problem, I believe you might relate to
Yes.
words
Yes.
related to that problem. So let's not talk about that. Let me think. Okay, I think I have a general problem. Okay, I think I have one. Okay, then just throw me a word.
Mm, flower.
Oh, flower. Okay, okay. I guess I kind of. Okay, so my problem is like, because I'm actively thinking how to actually generate income while I'm actually studying in the UK. So, well, flower. A very obvious choice is definitely, like selling flowers and all that stuff. But if we go in depth on how to make a profit out of this, I think the biggest profit maker out of flowers is at events,
Yeah.
graduations, Valentine's, Mother Days, all this.
Yes.
People get a lot of money out of this. So that is actually one big um one big idea there. But if I talk about steady income, then that actually won't be valid anymore. So with flower, how can I generate a steady income? One thing that happens quite frequently every day is that all this there's all these companies opening, restaurant opening, and then they have all these people actually send them flower stands and all this.
Yeah.
Send them flowers. So this is actually quite a sustainable business, because it happens very frequently. It happens very
Mm.
frequently. Or even you just make bouquet for visiting people who are sick,
Mm-mm.
or even what else? I thought of something just now, but I actually forgot about that. So basically, focusing on these few sectors might work out better. Yeah, but this is a very, I'll consider this still an idea, but a more general one, because you think of flower, you do all this. But
I thought of
if
something.
we, oh, you thought of something. What would that be?
Maybe it can be doing regular workshop for people who are interested in, let's say, becoming a florist, or just
Yes.
yeah.
I think this kind of sprung out quite a lot. There's all these online courses on
Yes.
how to create a bouquet of flowers. All this. Yes, this is actually this is a very good idea. And that they don't just earn money from the courses.
Mm.
Because they sell the whole kind of the whole set of flowers, which including all the tools which you'll be
Yeah.
using. So you get a business out of that as well,
Yes.
isn't it? Yeah, business out of that. And yeah, that's actually a very good idea. And but yeah, so basically just trying to show that when we talk about words, and then you can link to ideas. Second one is actually I just kind of want to go through this faster, because the third point is better. So the second one is actually picture prompts. Look
Picture
at any
prompts.
picture, think of a problem, look at a random picture, and then try to find try to think see if it kind of helps. If it kind of helps. And then over here it kind of focus on like big business with a few teams, with like a whole team or something. So maybe in a meeting room, everyone look at the picture and actively think of ideas.
Basically, it works
But
like a queue for people lah.
yes, actually like that.
Okay.
But I believe one heavy factor behind this is I'm not one heavy factor, but one thing that people have to work on themselves before generating idea from this is that they need to be able to just speak up.
Okay.
In the Asian community generally, we might not speak out
Yes. Yes.
when we have ideas, because we fear of getting judged and all this.
Yes. I think this
Okay.
is one of my problem as well.
Yeah. So we need to work on this before we can actually generate idea from this, especially in a team, because we might feel that, oh, my idea is stupid and all this. But from today, like from what we talk about today, there's no uncool idea, and then there is
Mm.
basically no stupid idea. Well, worst case, if there's a bad idea, just like joke about it lah. Yeah, because like you uh you are actively thinking about it. Like it's most likely
Yes.
not stupid, not as a joke. There is people who just like actively make funny ideas just to make the whole team laugh. But yeah, those are when they're focusing on like thinking of funny ideas. I guess like
Mm-mm.
when we are literally focusing on how to solve this question, usually those ideas are worth taking in. Yeah, and then finally the third one is just like object of interest. Me, it's quite funny. Like everyone bring out a random item which they like or something, and then they just think ideas from that one. Yeah, does this object helps the problem that we're trying to solve? Does it relate to the problem that we're trying to solve?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but basically like what you said, all this word, image, and object is just a cue to spark ideas. Yeah, yeah, it's a cue to relate to our old experiences. That's why it's like
Okay.
still
Yeah.
making connections. We like all the ideas are in our mind, but we are just trying to find a cue, or let's just say that it's the spark. The cue is basically a spark that connects our brain to that idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the final one is basically finding fresh perspective. I think finding fresh perspective is what I talked about just now. Mental exercises where you think about, let's say, we talk about how to do that in a shorter time. But another way is that how to do the same thing at a thousand times more effective. So this from, I think I will add this article onto the resources later as well. So
Okay.
this is about mental shift, two mental shift that people actually make. So one way is that to force yourself to think of more ideas. So you just think of how, let's say I want to sell flowers, or like I aim to sell. So this way that I'm doing, I actually I believe I aim to sell like 10 per day.
Okay.
But now, try to think 1,000 times better. How can I sell 10,000 flowers every single day? It's not about making you to sell 10,000 flowers a day, but it's trying to force you to think of ways to improve upon what you have now. Now it's just 10. Maybe after, let's say, you spend a whole day thinking a solution for this question, you might still can't you maybe you still can't find a way to sell 10,000 flowers per day. But I believe you will still find ways to sell at least 100 or at least 1,000 of flower per day, which is a great improvement when compared to your 10 flowers per day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this basically a fresh perspective is this: we need to look at different perspective, or even think of empathize how your customer think, like all this. I feel like I'm talking about I'm like in a business presentation. I guess I'm absolutely used to that because I was mentoring. I've been mentoring for a few weeks. Mentoring students on starting their startup. It's actually ideation camp. So I've been mentoring. Like I felt like I'm doing the same right now. Just think about your customer. Think about empathize them. Think about what they may face. All that. But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is the general three things that this article talk about. What?
This is you say about what taking new perspective, right? What do you think about if socializing outside of your normal circles?
Yes, that is exactly yes, that works as well. Actually, that is both thing. It's like making connections and bringing new perspective. But I totally agree with this because when we like one example is when you want to open a Malaysian restaurant in Scotland, UK, it might not work there because
Yeah.
it's a quite, I would say Scotland is considered a lot more remote when you compare to places like London and all this. So people over there are not so open to different kind of cuisine and all this stuff. So
okay.
you definitely need, this is just one example. So basically, when you do things, you get knowing people out of your social circle will definitely get new ideas, new perspective, and all this because they are totally different. They might be totally different, and that is why they are outside of your social circle for so long. That's probably why.
Yeah.
So
this reminds of me about as I think especially in Asian culture that we are so used to just stay inside our own social circle.
Yes. Like even in Malaysia, it's a bit sad to say this, but we are segregated by races
Yeah.
most of the time, like
Yeah.
in schools and all this. So that's a very unfortunate thing. But actually, knowing people from different backgrounds definitely help for all this.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And yes, so the three ways is breaking old thinking patterns, making new connections, and finding fresh perspective. I find this article very useful, so I believe everyone can actually have a look at this. And so there's this final part where they talk about how to encourage creative thinking.
Okay.
And yes, first thing, believe in yourself. Ha! I believe you need that as well, Verene.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so basically positive affirmation, all this to keep your spirits up. Actually, I kind of have an insight on this. I'm gonna talk at the end of today's show. Like, yeah, I kind of have an insight related to this, but yeah, gonna talk
Oh,
at the
okay.
end of
Looking
today's show.
forward to it.
So the second one is actually find time for downtime. Do you have any downtime? Like where downtime as in like time you just sit there doing nothing, no phones, no devices, nothing at all.
Yes, I think I do have.
Oh, you have I mean, like, do you actively try to have that downtime?
Oh no, I don't
Uh,
actively do that.
okay, yeah, because I you can kind of relate this to meditation. I read another actually yeah. I just wanna throw this part in a bit. So yeah, the last episode I talked about this book called Everything is Fucked. That it's actually quite boring. Yeah, but yeah, now that I read more, so the few chapters that I read it's actually quite interesting, so I may just reread this whole book after I finish it, because one thing is they talk about meditation, but I think I won't be sharing this now because I forgot the exact parts of it, so I'll talk about it when I actually have the exact quote from it. So yeah, find time for downtime, because when you have downtime and all this, you sit there doing nothing. You either connect your surroundings, your environment, to your experiences, where you actually gain more ideas, or you just think about your problems
Mm.
you have in your mind, which is the same thing as meditation. When you meditation, you sit there, you close your eyes, you focus on your own breathing. Your thoughts, your problems, all this come into your mind, and what you're supposed to do, you're just supposed to you see those problems and then you let it go. Not supposed to let those problem troubles you. So, but
Um,
downtime is a bit different. So when all those problems come, that's where you know that this is a problem. You are actively facing it. Let's think of a solution. Why not?
okay.
Agree?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So yeah, that's find time for downtime. Vary your environment. Vary your environment. That this I actually like this. So kind of change your environment from time to time, like work environment, study environment. I don't mean by like renovating all this. You can just like study at different places. All
Yeah.
this, or even the example he gave here. I like this a lot. Ideas walk. Ideas walk. Do you understand what's ideas walk?
No? Can you
Okay.
elaborate on it?
Basically, ideas walk is very simple. Like when you're discussing about something, that's why I generally I believe you know that I like to walk quite a lot, like when I have
Yes,
nothing to do,
yes.
like instead of just sitting there, like, yeah, let's walk somewhere, let's just go and explore that place, like.
Yeah.
But I kind of enjoy the process of walking, because usually I have something that I have in mind. I'm thinking, then I just like, basically the idea walk is just like when you're walking, it's just uh process of exercise where you just walk and then you guys talk about something, trying to solve a problem, like that. Because as you walk, the environment change around you. Like literally when you walk, you can generate a lot of questions as well. Look at the birds.
Yeah.
You think about, yeah, why is, or maybe why is there no birds today?
Okay.
Or or even like when you can see a lot of things, like I now I'm visualizing walking from the student association building to F1. So that bridge thing,
Okay.
that bridge.
Okay.
I'm visualizing that I'm walking there. Sorry that the audience might not be able to visualize it. So walking there, I I can imagine myself seeing problems from the design where um because the design is that the pillar is on one side of the pathway. It's not like in the middle. It's on one side of the pathway. Do you remember that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, one side of a pathway. So yeah, like it kind of shortens. It kind of decreases the width of the pathway. So basically, that part is unusable. But of course, it's better. It's better than putting the oh wait, what did I call that again? Shit.
Pillar?
Huh? What pardon? Yes, the
Pillar?
pillar. Yes, I forgot that word. I suddenly I forgot that. Of course, it's putting at the side is of course better than putting it directly in the middle. In the
Yeah.
middle where it blocks and it splits the pathway into two, so it's not effective. But I'm thinking like whether is there better ways or stuff, because one thing that I think about is that usually when it rains,
Yeah.
the rain just splashes from the other side. Actually, this is not very valid because like it splashes from both sides.
Yes.
But yeah, I think generally the pathway is just quite short lah. Quite not quite short. It's actually not wide enough. It's quite narrow. Yeah, it's quite narrow. Narrow is the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite narrow that when there's sun, it's always hot there, and then when there's rain, rain splashes in.
Yes.
Overall is that, I guess. So okay, the whole thing that I'm trying to prove here is that like all this idea walk, it's I like walking because like seeing things, I tend to question them. So just saying like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? So it 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 makes you think lah, and then you might generate some idea from that. And I'm not sure if you remember this, but during our foundation year, so we have this class called Study Skills for Science.
Yes, I remember that.
And then Mr. Jaya, do you still remember?
Yes.
He basically talked about what researchers do. So we generate question every single day. Like just now, I'm visualizing me walking across that bridge, and then I have this question like, okay, why don't they just like make this pathway wider and all this like, so. But the difference between researcher or layman is that layman thinks about this question and then like let's not think too deep about it. Let's go and have tea or something. Let's go and enjoy. But researcher, they think about this and then they actively try to understand why is it this,
Yeah, true.
and then if it's really a problem, then you solve it. So I believe we are supposed to be inclined towards how researcher thinks. That's how we actually get ideas, not just like
okay.
layman. Of course, there's questions where like sometimes it depends on your I guess it depends on your objective at that moment in time. Let's say you really want to go and enjoy tea, just go ahead and enjoy tea. But of course, if it's a very interesting question, maybe keep that onto a notebook. This is something which I haven't do, but it might be worth doing. Is keeping a ideas notebook where when you have ideas, you just like take it out, write it down, or even use your phone recording app where you just record the idea so that you can type it onto a note or something when you have the time.
Yeah, I think I heard some people doing that. Yeah.
Yes. Ali Abdal is doing that as well.
Okay.
Ali from Thinking Podcast is actually doing that.
Okay, no wonder it sounds so familiar to me. Maybe it's because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he and his brother they do that, but I don't have that yet. I'm thinking of doing that because there's a few podcast topics which I actually forgot. I thought of it usually when I was driving because I'm listening to their podcast usually when I drive, and then when I'm back because I follow the rules. I know that it's danger to use phone while driving, so yeah, I don't do that. And then when I'm back, I actually just forget everything. Until some cue comes up and made me remember of that.
Yeah, it
So yeah.
actually it's actually the same as me because the time that I usually listen to podcasts is when I was trying to clean the house. So you have dirty hands, so
Mm.
you won't be touching your phone or notebook or anything, right? Then after you finish
Yeah,
everything,
and
yeah, you forget everything.
yes, and then usually because you're cleaning, so you want to get the whole thing done. You wouldn't just like,
Yes.
oh, I have these ideas. Let's run somewhere and then write it down and then
Yes.
come back to do it, right? So usually like in the process of something, it's hard. So I guess we are just actively either maybe it's just us that we maybe should stop
Mm,
something to record it. But of course, driving that's quite impossible.
yes.
But another way is that we can actively find ways to just record ideas. Yeah, actively
Mm,
find ways to just record ideas that is convenient, best for us while we are doing our task. All this.
yeah,
So
no.
just now I was talking about pardon what?
Yeah. Oh, it reminds me that when I was doing the research, I saw that this article they write about journaling.
Oh, journaling. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, I think it actually works the same as the one that what is it called? Oh, mental exercise. Like, um, if we have been doing journaling already, then every day, at least after by the end of the journal, so we write about here's an idea about what then
Oh,
it kind of like it's quite similar to mental exercise actually, yeah, but you
no, that's
actively
true.
reflect on it and then you write it down.
Oh, okay. Because but actually, I believe even if you don't write that, you can generate ideas ish as well. Because
Mm.
for me, well, everyone have their journaling tactic. My journaling tactic is that I usually I write about a problem which usually negative problem that is in my mind when when I talk about running or when I wake up thinking about this, or I I I write about the insight that I found out. But both of this, when I write about a problem, I want to understand why do I have this negative thought, and I write about
Mm.
this insight. I want to see, oh, I find this insight. Let me try to think whether uh is it really this good, this insight. So while doing that, while finding your answers towards your negative thought or finding your answers towards your insight, you are basically generating ideas as well.
Mm,
Because
mm.
yeah, not ideas per se, but you're just answers. Answers in some ways can turn into ideas depending
Yeah.
on the use cases. Yeah, so I agree that journaling is one way.
Yeah, and I think
But
I
whether
oh, you
pardon?
continue first.
No, I'm just trying to say that. But whether you want to do it in what ways, that depends on you. Like you can do it
Mm,
like
mm.
Verene's way, where you just force yourself to write out a few, or like mine, I just it's quite easy. I just write about
Yeah.
ideas that I have. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. What I wanted to say just now is that I think the blog you're currently working on, that your personal blog, I think that is a very
Hmm?
good exercise as well, because when we consume that because you write depending on what you have read, right?
Uh, Initially, it's that. Now, no longer.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay. Okay.
now, I no longer write about that. Now, I guess I kind of have a comfort zone as well. Initially, I wasn't I have some like I have some insecurity, and I don't feel like just sharing whatever I'm
Ah,
thinking.
okay,
But
okay.
then I encountered this problem where I well like the last episode of the podcast I talked about, I didn't like this book, and then I don't want to just constantly write
Okay.
about this part that I don't like. It's like so negative. I don't want to do that. I want to talk about thoughts, insights, and all this. So now I literally just write about things that are sprouted out in my mind during my
Ah,
run or something.
okay.
And then uh even if it's negative, I try to say, okay, how what's the way for us to fight this negative
Mm.
emotion. And actually today this is an insight which I'm gonna share, but it's not proven yet because I'm still thinking why is it this way. So I kind of thought about this thing, motivation by progress. Yeah,
Oh.
so instead of motivating yourself with the goal or the objective, you motivate you to do something by the progress that you have done previously.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk deeper into why I think later in the insight section. I feel
Okay.
I have too much insights today. Maybe this topic about idea is like so it's like linking to everything. I
Yeah.
feel like generating insights all this. So yeah, okay. Yeah. You were saying something, is it?
Oh yeah. Okay. What I was saying is that okay. Let's say previously you're just you're writing about what you have read that day. So I think it's a very good exercise that you're consuming something like you're reading, and then you reflect on it, then you write it out. So it's a one set of exercise.
Yes. Exactly.
So you have input and
Yeah.
output.
Yes. Yeah. Like I kind of like even there was one blog post which I just write about. It was just do it. So I was mentoring a student, and then I'm so impressed by. He's just actually starting a tuition-ish company, but I am very impressed by
Oh.
what he has done, because just by the initiative that started all this, and then the journal which the blog post which I write kind of forced me to think, why am I so impressed by him? Yeah, it just forced me to think more.
Yeah.
Basically that. Okay, so now I think there's just two more points. So yeah, 5 ways to encourage creative thinking. First one, believe in yourself. Second, find downtime. Third, vary your environment. Fourth is actually conquer distraction. So you know that sometimes you are in the zone. Do you understand that? You're in the zone. Like you're doing something, you're so into doing that
Okay.
you can So
Okay, I
that
get
is
it.
when you're in the zone. So you know that when in places where you do things in the zone, uh, prepare yourselves that you won't be distracted when you're in the zone. So you need to do the preparation before you're in the zone. Like one simple way is that some people just get noise cancelling earphones, all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the fifth one is basically have fun. I guess this I agree with this. Like, uh, having fun generates different kind of idea, like doing things with friends.
Yes.
Doing things that you feel fun, you enjoy, actually just gives you new insights and ideas and all this. Yeah.
And I think
So what do you think? Pardon?
sometimes when we're having fun, if let's say some idea comes up, usually that might be quite creative, when you're having fun.
Yes. Because another thing is, especially when you're with your friends, you are free to express your
Yeah.
what we call okay, I'll just say free to express, like whether the idea is stupid or not. Like you just
Yes.
express it, and then at the same time, people hear about it, and people might think that, hey, that is actually not stupid at all.
Yeah.
And then you get your idea and your validation at the same time. So those are kind of the best times just best moments where you can generate ideas. Okay, so yeah, how do you find all the stuff which I've told you?
Okay. I think about more than half of the stuff. I think I read it online as well when I was doing the research, but I think
Yeah,
it's much
basically
more
I guess. Oh, pardon. Sorry for interrupting you. But then, I think, yeah, all these online articles are actually quite similar, just that whether they are more detailed or not.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think the one you shared are those that I have touched on as well. Just that I
Yes.
didn't really like them as much.
Okay.
Oh yeah, continue.
I wanted to say that just that after your explanation and your example, it sounds more understandable and more relevant. I don't know how to say that.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Okay, but yes, sorry. I was checking my message, and then I stopped for a while. I shouldn't be distracted by that. I'm in a podcast recording, goddamn it. But yes, okay, so do you have anything else you want to share?
I think I came across this idea when I was reading one article. It says how to generate great ideas. we engage ourselves in observation session, which I think is quite relevant to the space example that you've given. Yeah.
Yes. I read this exact article which you read because I remember this. This is like I like how we chose the same part. Well, I didn't choose it, but if I use the article, I'll choose this part. So yeah, observing actually it generates question where you can think of stuff, or sometimes just directly link to your ideas that you already have in mind.
Yeah,
So,
and then
I agree that.
and then after our discussion about this, do you realize that actually many points are quite related? Like, okay, like this observation session is quite related to the ideal walk. When you're walking, then you observe.
Exactly. I guess I actually it will be a hard time for me to write this blog, man. Because I feel like our ideas are everywhere, you know.
Yes.
Like everything is connected to each other, but then we just think of them as individual. But when you look at it from a broader perspective, it's one whole connected thing.
Yeah.
And then this sparks me. This gave me another idea. Basically, sometimes when we look at problem, we are too focused on. I like to use an analogy of tree and a forest. We are like we're focusing on this tree, that we focus that we can actually look at all this forest, and then there is other ways to solve it as well. We don't have to just solve the problem for this tree. Maybe it's hard to solve the problem when we look at this single tree, but we look at the broader question. It might actually be easier to solve or something.
Yeah.
I think this is a bit vague, yeah. But well, I'll see if I can elaborate in the podcast, because we've been 1 hour in, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything else to share, or shall we just wrap up here?
I think we can just write up here.
Okay, sure. So yeah, to prevent our wrap up from being so too long, I guess I would just say that there is many ways to generate ideas.
Yes.
And we just need to exercise. I think ultimately the one thing that we require the requirement before we can actually start generating ideas is don't be so limited by your own thinking. We need to start like don't be so limited by the way you are thinking since birth. You need to start thinking of other start accepting other ways. We need to step out of our comfort zone and then speak out, and also basically stepping out of our comfort zone, I guess. And then after stepping out of your comfort zone, you can do all this exercise, and then all this will actually help you to generate new ideas. Like so many ways, man. Like crazy.
Okay, I add one sentence. Okay, it also requires us to commit some time and effort to practice it. You know.
Yes. I agree with that. Yeah, like sitting at at very quiet places. All this but many people think that this is actually wasting time because they can't immediately see the outcome of it. But actually, it is all those extraordinary. It's like the 1% that is worth chasing for. It's actually 1% of the time that you would generate such amazing ideas, but it's because of that 1%. That's why you should spend all these 1,000 hours sitting there thinking about it. But usually, even if we don't get that 1%, 99% of the time we're still. It's not brilliant idea, but we're still solving our problem. So I think it's just worth it. Yeah, it's just worth it. Okay, so yeah, great session. Okay, so now let's talk about our insights. Yes, I'm about to share my insights. So, are you sure you don't have any insights? If anything that you kind of learned this week or something.
I think you started first, maybe in
Mine
between.
Would be too long though. Oh, you just cut in.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I actually found this way of improving productivity. Cause help me do one thing. Now on your browser, open your Gmail and then count. There's a number there, right? Basically shows how many unreads you have. Tell me what's the number that you have. I'm not trying to compare. I just want to know.
1552.
Oh, 1552. I think, but yeah, I think I had more than that. I think mine was around 4,000. My main Gmail account was like around 4,000. But basically, I believe most of us, we just leave it there. We don't care.
Yes.
And then we just check out all the messages that we want to read.
Yes.
And then yes, this week, I think this week Monday or Tuesday, I saw this Instagram story from Jan Wong, an entrepreneur, and then he was showing a screenshot of his phone, the Gmail, and then it literally said, "You're all done for now." So basically, the Gmail is empty, and then like, you're all done for now. And then I realized that, how he managed to do that is that every time he either deletes the email if it's useless after reading it, or he archives it. Basically, you have read it, you archive it because it's read. What you don't need to clutter your email. So this literally opened up a new world for me. Like, I didn't know people use email this way. I actually don't know. I believe this is kind of the proper way to use email, because I never understood why do you need the archive button. So I was like, wow, so this is how you use email, huh? Okay, wow, okay. Yeah, so yeah, this is what I learned. And then I of course it's quite a tedious process, because I have like 4,000 something emails. Like I can't just delete all of them, or just like put that. I don't want to put all of them into archive as well. So I spent around 2 hours, something like that, on.
So you started doing that.
I did that on Monday morning. So I went through all my emails. I unsubscribed most of the one that I actually don't read, and then I deleted them, and then I try to clean up as much as possible. But at the end, there is still some that it's hard to clean. So after that, it left me with around thousand something, which I need to clean up individually. So every single page, I would just go and choose everything, because I choose everything, and then I just press read, and then I could either archive them or just like delete them. And then basically now, of course, I believe I have deleted some important messages, but I guess the importance is quite low, at least for now, because I never try to search them back. So and then I deleted and archived most of them now, and then I unsubscribed a lot of unnecessary emails. So now my inbox is basically clean. Like, I still leave some unread emails over there, like when it's something that I might want to use in the future, like a voucher which I'm going to use later. So I just leave it there. But after using it, I just click it, archive it. Yeah. And then now that when there is new emails which I don't want, I can know that, this is something I don't want. I can go and unsubscribe it. Or worst case, if I can't unsubscribe it, I can just move it to spam or something. Yeah. So,
but I think many people don't really care about that email. Okay, like my mom, she literally has a lot of unread emails,
I agree. Actually, I don't do that as well. But it's when I started now, because I subscribe to people's newsletter, like their personal blog and stuff, and then because I have my own blog, so I find that I think it's time to start taking email more seriously, and then I'm trying to clear it out, like read stuff, show stuff that shows up are actually useful, and I archive them after I actually read them thoroughly. This one thing that I found about improving productivity. So it's faster for you to like you kind of feel like you get something done every single day. Like even when you're at work next time in the future, I believe this will be very useful, because your email won't be cluttered. Also, when your coworkers send you stuff, every single morning, the stuff that you see is basically the stuff that your coworkers send you. Not there's no other other trash. So yeah, this is one thing which I found out. Second way, I found a way to decrease procrastination. So I found this a few weeks ago, but then I worked on it this way. So I believe how to get rid of a habit is just by making it harder. I'm not sure if you heard of this before.
Yes, I heard of it.
Yeah, so basically try to, example is let's say you are so addicted to playing PS4. So every time you want to break this habit, so every time after you finish your gaming session, you turn off your PS4, you unplug it. If after that you're still addicted to it, maybe you keep it somewhere else. You are still addicted to it, maybe you put it back to the original the original PS4 box and then keep it somewhere. So you kind of make your every single day, every single time when you want to play a PS4 harder. So it discourages you from playing it in the future. And this is the same way which I do. So I'm whenever I procrastinate, I usually check out two kinds of apps: social media apps or investment apps, because I want to see what's happening around me, and then like all the friend stories, all that, and how my investment grows or actually decline, all that. So yeah, those waste a lot of my time, and then they are too easily accessible. So what I do is very simple. I started this a few weeks before, where I just move it to another page, and then I find that that is actually very, very helpful. So for the audience context, my all my apps are contained in a folder, and I put them all on my home screen, like my first page. All the other I have a second page which I put widgets, and that's all. Like my front page is all my apps. So yeah, I kind of move all this to my second page. I find that it's actually very useful, and then I even took the step to make apps which I want to use directly without folder on my home screen. So I added Clock, Data Camp, Notion, all this, which I want to encourage myself to use directly outside. So I just need to click them, and then I go in straight away. Yeah, so and then all the social media apps, I put it on the second page. So I find that this is actually quite useful. So I decided to take it up a notch by putting them on the third page, and then locking all of them. So now, because I have this app lock function on my phone, so now whenever I want to access them, I actually need to key in a password. And of course, people usually use this for privacy reason. I use this to decrease procrastination. So I disabled fingerprint or face unlock. So using app lock, I can't unlock it with my fingerprint or my face. And then I don't use PIN as well, because when you use PIN, you have to you have the T9 keyboard. I'm not sure if you know about T9. So basically the keyboard where there's just like the numbers there. It's like there's no other symbols on it. So that's called T9 keyboard, where it's very easy for you to type the password. People get used to that very easily. So very fast as well. I don't use the PIN. I went ahead and used password, but then I used when I chose the password option, so it gave a full keyboard, but then inside I put numbers only.
Okay.
So that whenever I use a keyboard, whenever I key in a password, I have to go to another page of the keyboard to access the numbers, just to log into the app. So it adds difficulty onto that, and I can see that I have significantly decreased my screen time on these devices. On these apps actually, yeah. Now, last time I check my investment every single time whenever I take my phone up, because it's just so convenient. You actively want to make sure you have that feeling where you want to get updated on everything, so you go and check everything. But now sometimes I check it once per day, or even I don't check it at all, because I just know that now because I last time I check it, even though like the updates is like so minor, like the increase in investment is like so minor, but I just check it for the sake of checking it. Now, because I know that the growth is so minor, so it's not worth it to go through such hassle just to check it. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, so I find this like, wow, it's like it's very helpful. But for people who want to procrastinate, of course you still need to. There is some apps which are essential. Let's say if you are a social media marketer, I believe if you procrastinate on Instagram and then you use Instagram as well, well, you gotta find some ways to deal with that. Well, on my phone, I think I can use dual apps. So one, I will suggest that one app you just use it for personal, one app you use it for a company. So you separate both, lah. Yeah, because. But yeah, you still can go to your company's Instagram and check out other stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, that's just something. So the third insight is the one I had today. Motivation by progress. I like to call it this way. It's like, it sounds so cool. Actually, I feel like getting some water, but never mind. It's about to end soon. So yeah, motivation by progress. So today, every time I run, I usually run like 6 km to 10 km, but I try to run 10 km. So that's because of MCO right now. So I'm limited to my own neighborhood, and that means 17 loops. 17 loops are completing 17 loops, and obviously that is very very challenging. If you talk about it mentally, it's mentally challenging, basically, because you are looking at the same thing 17 times just to complete
Yes.
10 km, and then my neighborhood is actually a slope, so I have to run up, which is very tiring. When you go to bottom and you think that you're gonna go run up, it's very tiring out there. So it's actually very mentally challenging. So for many months, I've been, every time when I run, I do this method where after I finish 10 loops, I start counting down from 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that.
Mm-mm.
Because like it makes me feel like I'm closer to the
Yeah.
goal. Like I'm closer to completing it. But then I recently felt that actually doing that, I not maybe initially it motivate me to like, let's complete it. But after that, I just felt like whenever I do that, I, instead of thinking that, oh, I just have 4 or 3 more left, I keep thinking that, gosh damn it, I have 3 more left. Oh, I have 2 more left. Let's just live with this. Let's just complete this shit, something like that. But so today I try to change it another way, where I don't think about how many rounds are left. I think about how many rounds I've done. And then I whenever you think about how many rounds you're done, you kind of feel you're you feel that gratitude, kind of like gratitude, because you're kind of impressed by yourself, and at the same time you are satisfied with your progress. Like, oh my god, I've done 6 today. Like look at me, I woke up so early, and then I've done so much. Like, let's continue to do this. Let's continue to do this. We want to complete the 17. And then as you move on, you complete like 12, and I was like, oh yes, I've completed 12. There's only 5 left. Let's continue, because I've completed 12. Let's do even harder. I can complete 12. Why can't I complete the rest of the 5? So yeah. But I mean, like at the end, I think the last 2 rounds I just felt like, shit, it's a bit tough now. Like I still get the mindset where like I just want to get this done like that. But at least I find that it's way better improvement compared to last time, where when after I complete 10, I start counting down, then I start kind of hating myself, and I like just want to complete this thing. So I find motivation by progress might be something that can work out. I'm still trying to find out why is it, whether it actually helps out, or why it helps out. This is something I'm still thinking. Yeah. So I'm gonna write this in my blog today.
Oh,
This is my insight, the 3 insights of my week, which I spent quite some time talking about. Okay. All right. What about you?
Okay. Just
Any
I
insights?
thought. Yes, just I thought of something. Okay. I've submitted my exam yesterday at 3:30. So I've been working on it over the past 2 days, because it's a 48 hours exam. Then because it's an exam, so I don't really procrastinate, and and I only have 48 hours, and
Yeah, I understand.
after reducing those sleeping time.
Basically, I guess the marks, the marks is very important for you. Like, the pain point is very big, that you can't risk procrastinating anymore.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I try putting a lot of my time on working on it, but then I realized even after not even, like, after I've been working for some time, I might need a break, which helps me to freshen my mind. Okay, we all know about taking break between productivity hour, but then I didn't really realize how important it is.
To take break, like even during like very important
Yes,
tasks, like
yes,
such as
yes.
exam, all this.
Yes. So it actually.
So
No? What do you want to
continue?
say?
And just continue first.
I actually forget what I want to say.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind then. I was just trying to say that. So I was trying to ask, like, did you use a Pomodoro method or some other method?
On the second day of my exam, I didn't use it, because I'm afraid that I've taken too many breaks. No, because it's like 25 minutes for one working session, right? So I kind of like afraid that I might take too much break for the first thing, and the second thing is that 25 minutes sometimes it might break my thoughts.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, understand.
But
So you basically just Like you rest by section, is it? So after completing a
Yes,
section,
yes,
then
yes.
you take a rest?
Yes, or
Yeah.
when I realize that even I can work on something, but my mind is just so messy. I
It's
cannot.
not really working that well.
Yeah. So why not?
Okay.
I stop for a while, and then when I come back, I have such a fresh mind. I can start everything in a good way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Yes. Okay. But I haven't actually tried this before because last year, yeah, I had an exam last year, online exam last year, but after that I never had one again. So I think it's worth trying out. If I have the opportunity, I think I'll definitely try that out.
It's
But yeah,
actually
actually just
you're going to experience very soon when you go to UK.
well, it could be a physical exam soon. Like it might not be online exam anymore. But yeah, I also prefer a physical exam. I think physical exam
Yes,
is better
I also
for me.
prefer physical exam because this 48 hours is really so stressful, and you never know when you should stop, because you're trying to.
I believe it kind of it affects your work life balance.
Yeah,
Okay?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Because this
Especially when the question is really hard.
because this pain point is so big. The I mean, like, not the pain point, but the outcome of the result is like so important for you that you need to suffer yourself through this 48 hours thinking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they give you 48 hours to do it, but obviously you can't work straight 48 hours just to complete it. You have to rest and all this, but
Yeah.
when you're resting, you still think about it. So
And then
that's why it's
obviously they expect more from a physical exam.
yes, I understand, because like you have more time and more
Yes.
resources of this. Okay, yeah, just telling you that actually, for the Pomodoro that we're using in Discord, you can actually customize the time, the work time and the rest time and the long break time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can actually do that. But yeah, is that it for your insight?
Yeah. I think I don't have
All right.
much this week.
No problem. I think this week is just, I don't know, particularly more stuff for me. But yes, okay. I guess that's it for this podcast then. Thank you everyone for listening, and see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you're not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@inkthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter with the username of inkthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye-bye. So yeah, what do you think about this podcast? No, we're done. Well, we talk about a lot of stuff. 1 hour 31 minutes.
Should I?
No.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
just continue. I think from this episode onward, we just have a postscript kind of each thing where we just kind of talk about this podcast. But yeah.
Actually, I think I did it better than the past podcast.
Oh yes, obviously, I agree with that. I agree with that, like totally. But yeah, I'm surprised we have so much ideas.
Yeah.
But yes, actually, I can only afford. I'll just tell you that I can only afford 3 more minutes, even on this postscript, because I need to get Nando's pickup. So I schedule it at 12:30. Yes.
Oh, you're having Nando's today.
Okay. Actually, initially, I'm just having it with my sister because I got a voucher, free chicken tenders. Buy one free free chicken tenders with two sides, and then because there might be a lockdown soon, so my dad decided to celebrate one of their employees' birthday earlier today. And they have a meal, so I'm helping them to pick up also lah.
Wow.
So, yeah. Is there anything else actually? And then if there's nothing, then guess we'll just end the postscript here as well.
Yeah, I think we can end it here.
Yep. All right. Okay. I think see you later. I think I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Okay.
All right.